People want me there, baby. R.I.P. What? The man Drake come back. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 5 of the Culture Decides. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Thank you for supporting. Y'all know the drill. Make sure you download this episode. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. All right. So I'm going to get into a recap of the month. It's been a crazy month, a lot of exciting moments for sure. I will give y'all some highlights, some top things that happened that stood out to me. I'm always going to tell y'all some other things, might throw a little shade here and there, but yeah, nothing don't like me. And also I'm gonna, do a little album review section for, that's why y'all here. So review will be at the second half. I will be talking about Two Chainz and Larry June's album, produced by The Alchemist, called Life is Beautiful. And then, of course, Drake and Party Next Door, they dropped their collab album, finally, Some Sexy Songs for You, that released over Valentine's weekend. So, a lot of things that were said about that album for sure, especially coming out of this beef. Everyone now is constantly comparing Drake and Kendrick. So I will be shedding my light on it. And, disclaimer about how I feel, I'm gonna let y'all know right before the album going into it. That's what it's gonna be. February was an exciting month in the world of entertainment, from the Grammys to the Super Bowl. I mean, there was a lot of highlight moments just for Black culture itself. We had Beyonce winning a Grammy for her country album, multiple Grammys for Cowboy Carter. So that was amazing to see. We had Doechii also winning her first Grammy. We had Kendrick sweep and win 5 Grammys for Not Like Us. And if you haven't listened to those episodes or watched and wanted like a recap of the Grammys of the Super Bowl, check out episode 3 and 4. But yeah, Kendrick had that legendary Super Bowl halftime show that I recapped last episode. So it was just amazing to see, I think him coming into this year strong after dropping GNX at the later part of the year is really building up hype for the tour. I would love to see him in person, and for those of you that are going, it's gonna be a time, all right? Like, and if you haven't listened to GNX, I mean, I recommend it. It's on my repeat playlist all the time. I think that honestly, I haven't let a week go by without me listening to it. There's a lot of songs on there that just are worth replaying over and over. But outside of that, I think him just having those highlight moments, those really solid, strong moments coming into the year leading up to the tour, this also led to some greater success of GNX itself. So over President's Weekend, he actually surpassed 100 million Spotify listeners. That has not been done by any other rapper. So he's the first rapper to do it. He's now 1 in 10 artists across all genres to even have that achievement. So keep doing what you're doing, K Dot. It's working. Like, he got the recipe. He's not the dude that's all up on the socials like that. But when he is ready to deliver work, the work is handed to us. All right. So congrats to him. Like I said, I think those were like really solid highlight moments in the world of entertainment. All right, so across the waters in the UK, we actually had the MOBO Awards going on. It's an annual British show that highlights, different artists, different, specifically, like Black artists across multiple genres, like hip hop, UK drill, R&B, soul, reggae, jazz, gospel, and African music. So the MOBO Awards it was actually founded by Kanya King and Andy Ruffle, and there were some appearances by Vybz and Spice, and actually Vybz Cartel won the Impact Award. So congrats to him. I definitely think he deserves it. He has, I feel like has a huge influence in how dancehall is down to today. And honestly, like, I don't think you can name a top dancehall song without naming one of Vybz Cartel songs. So congrats to him on winning that Impact Award. So outside of those two highlight moments. We had ASAP fighting his case, literally fighting for his life, because if he got found guilty, he would have potentially faced up to like 24 years, which, I mean, you got young kids, that's their whole life right there. So he actually won his case against ASAP Rocky. He was found not guilty in the gun charge slash assault case against him. And pretty much what happened there, if y'all aren't familiar. So ASAP Rocky and Rocky, they grew up together, used to be mad cool, grew up in New York, whatever. And rumors are saying that Relly felt slighted by Rocky's fame. It felt like he felt like, he didn't really look after him or take care of him type shit, which led to some jealousy. And apparently he pulled up on Rocky in Hollywood and they got into like a little argument. And he alleged that Rocky pulled a gun on him, but the case just had too many discrepancies. One, the cops, when they investigated the scene, they didn't find any bullet casings, but apparently ASAP Rocky went back himself and found bullet casings and brought it to the police as evidence, which I feel like that shouldn't be used, which is pretty much why it probably led to him also winning this case. Rocky alleged that it was a prop gun that he allegedly flashed on him or had on him at the time that was seen in the video. So they're like, yo, I never shot that gun and it's not even real. All right. Rihanna did make an appearance with the kids. A lot of people were like talking about that. But, you know, if all had went the opposite way and not well, that potentially would have been the kid's last time seeing him, because like I said, he would have faced up to 24 years. So that's why he did show up. Obviously, people have the idea that it could have helped soften up the jury's verdict, but I think the facts of the case were a little shaky, and that's what led to him overall coming out not guilty. So shout out to shout out to him. I mean, yeah, some of y'all might have seen the video with him like jumping over the barrier to like hug his family. I mean, listen, if you be the case, you probably would too. All right. he A lot of people feel like Relly started a fight he couldn't finish, and he tried to extort his friends, and he was also sending in fake articles about Rihanna. So like nobody really feels bad about what happened to him because you kind of had it coming to you type shit. So whatever. And right after he was found out guilty, Rocky actually announced that Don't Be Dumb is finally gonna drop. They have a date, March 7th. Hopefully he does that. He also got named the creative director of Ray-Bans. He apparently wore Ray-Bans the entire uh, trial. So it was probably like, listen, if all goes well, you got this deal. So now he's the creative director of Ray-Ban. So you get into the bag, they get into the bag. Like, damn, you got a billionaire wifey practically, and he doing his thing too, and he about to drop music. To move on to freaking Rihanna, we know Rocky dropping. Rihanna is saying that she has been in the studio one for 8 years, which we're aware. You've been in the studio for mad long, girl. You don't need to tell us that. But during her interview with Bazaar, she was like, talking through her thought process about her ninth album and how apparently it's not going to be anything that anybody's going to expect. It's not going to be a commercial type of radio friendly album. Like, she feels as though she's finally, I guess, cracked the code. So a lot to look forward there. I am personally a huge Rihanna fan, which is why I side with certain sides of certain things. Like, but I do feel as though a lot of us have been looking forward to her to drop. And sometimes I wonder if it's the fear of, can I drop something better than my last body of work, which is a question I'm sure many artists have as they're developing their creative process. So I'm hoping it is. I'm looking forward to it. I know she's busy making her bread, being a mom, but girl, we need some music, and we need some music from you. All right, so I'm always gonna talk about these sellout celebs, because every time you turn your back and you turn back around, you realize there's a lot more people coming out of the cracks and under the surface. Now, the Orange Man had a Black History Month celebration, of course. You know, you gotta act like he cares about these things when we know how he really feels based off of the laws that he has been trying to revert and make. So, just not surprised there about some of the nonsense he's been doing, but it's annoying and surprising, more so annoying because, these people, rich people, these celebrities, they got money, so they gonna go where the money goes sometimes, and sometimes it does include being a sellout. So the sellout celebs are Rod Wave actually attended this man's celebration. So Rod Wave, Boozy, and Kodak, I'm not surprised about because he's been doing this, but they attended his Black History Month celebration. And you know what's crazy? That same day, the White House said that they're suspending scholarships at HBCUs, 18 HBCUs. So literally, I'm like, while y'all celebrating Black history with people that really don't give a fuck about Black history, here they are preventing us from making more history. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to stop us in our fucking tracks. But, no surprises there with what goes on with those people. And unfortunately, it is the name of the game. But back over to the music side, non-political side. Sean Diddy fucking Holmes, aka Love, is having a hard time keeping a lawyer. His lawyer actually quit on him, and I learned that the lawyer that quit on him, he's actually the same lawyer that defended Osama bin Laden against the USA. So if you could have the freaking lawyer that defended Osama bin Laden's like back out of your case, if you could have the freaking lawyer that used to defend Osama bin Laden back out of your case, that means something going on. That means it's looking real spooky. From the details that we already see out in the open, it's not looking good. And judging by how you can't keep somebody to help you, they're saying it must have been some things that Diddy must be doing even to this day, and that the things that he did do in the past are just that gruesome, which is fucking crazy. Like, if you ask me, I don't know. He, at this point, he gonna have to fight for himself. All right, he gonna have to fight for himself in that motherfucking jail and in Manhattan. All right. But okay, on some more positive side of things, so let's cleanse the energy right now. You know what I'm saying? We was talking about, it's a negative thing. We're gonna talk about some positivity going into it. So J.Cole dropped a new blog post, and on that blog post, it included a song called Clouds. So it seems like he's resuming the rollout for the Fall Off, which is a highly anticipated album of his. Waiting for it. He dropped Might Delete Later last year, Playing Around. He dropped that little Kendrick this that he took back, which leads me to say, like, I really wish that he didn't even get involved in the first place. And then once he did get involved, I'm like, all right, bro, you here. You can't just back out. And then he decides to back out. I just feel like he shouldn't have done that. He's J. Cole. I think J. Cole's super fucking talented. He's one of my favorite artists growing up. Like, I always would look forward to him dropping work. And I feel like he's back on the right track, especially with this song that I heard. It was really good. I feel as though he's getting back to like that classic Cole, none of that grippy shit. I don't want to hear that ever again. Like that was like probably his worst song he's ever made. But in this song, he on the blog, he was like, yo, I just wanted to share this. I actually made it a few days ago and I literally just added the second verse. And he was like, you know what, fuck it. I could put whatever I want on my blog. So that's what he did. He decided to drop that song, and honestly, he was delivering bar after bar. Like, I feel like he was very reflective, talking about current times, on his conscious rap flow. In the course of the song, he's like, gray hairs, I'm aging quicker than I thought I'd be. And, you know, honestly, as I'm listening to him deliver the bars, I'm like, he's probably the only rapper that I can see, like current rapper, like of our generation, that could probably battle Kendrick and win, or have like a great head to head competition, head to head competition, based off of their preferred rapping styles, like conscious rap. Like I ain't over here talking about big watches, big booty. I mean, they have they times where they do that, but like for the most part, they make that conscious shit fucking go hard. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel as though that would have been a better matchup. Like Drake has more of that pop rap type vibe. And like, yes, he has worked across many genres, but he wasn't the right matchup for that battle. I think J.Cole would have been a better matchup, but I don't even want to see him getting involved at this point. Like at this point, just drop the fall off. Let us have something good to listen to and continue your legacy with. At the end of the clouds, I really did like his last verse in there. He's pretty much like talking about like the current state of rap. It's like pretty much just don't buy, subscribe so you can stream. He's like your content's pretty much like rent. You won't own anything like at this point, and it won't be long before the world is singing songs that's generated by AI machines. You know, so he's like pretty much we gonna be erased with this streaming era and this the way AI is going. So you know, it really it is scary because you are hearing more and more that people want to incorporate it to use it for editing. Kanye himself said he's gonna use it for bully, which Kanye been tripping all month. We don't even need to talk about that. We know he tripping. Everybody know he tripping at this point. But yeah, I mean Drake even tried the AI thing himself with Taylor Made freestyle, and it's like, is that the route we really going? I personally hope not. Like I would rather hear like really get in the booth for real. I mean, yes, there's AI editing where it can help you edit a track and clean it up a lot faster, but to like use it to make voices and all that, and I don't know, just be organic, man. Just stop. But yeah, that was I had to add that. That last verse was pretty fire. I think that was my favorite verse out of the whole song. But yeah, now I'm gonna move into album reviews. And before I dive into it, just a quick recap of what I'm looking for as I'm listening to the albums. First of all, I like to like listen to albums when I'm in a good space. Like I usually, I'm gonna put it on that JBL on that speaker loud, or I'm gonna be in the car riding around, listen to it. A lot of times I do like to listen to the album where I can actually sit down and take my notes on each song and like rate the creativity, the bars that are delivered, the impact. Like, how does it make me feel? How are other people like vibing to it? Sometimes you don't get that part until a little later, but like that initial impact of how you feel. So, like, yeah, creativity, bars, um, versatility, like is it all sounding the same, does it sound a little different? Those are things that I'm really looking for. And like features too, like are you using a lot of features, and if so, do they all really have like a great impact to the album? And if you're not using a lot of features or none, is it an album that maybe needed more? So those are the things that I'm pretty much looking at across the board: creativity, versatility, the features, the bars that's being delivered, and that great impact. Overall, just like want to hear through and through, like, is it a consistent album, from top to bottom? Um, but yeah, that's important to me. And like I said, just getting the vibes right. Like I'll listen to it where I could take my notes, and then sometimes, most times, I will say I like to listen to it again before I record and give y'all my feedback. But yeah, I put it on. That's the time I put it on in the car where I could I'm hitting the highway, I'm driving, I'm like, all right, bet. Yeah, I did like this song. That's me, like sometimes just confirming, did you really fuck with this? Because sometimes there's that song where it's like, I'm feeling it, I'm not sure. Okay, maybe it's not the right vibe. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there's certain songs for certain vibes. But yeah, that's pretty much how I do it. As I'm writing my notes, I'm rating the songs with like fire emojis 1 to 3, none if it's trash, 3 if it's fire, 2 if it's like I might come back to it, and then 1 is like, okay, this is good, but maybe it'll grow on me, maybe not, we'll see. And then at the end, I like to give it like, hey, out of 10, what is this album based off of the number that it lands on? It'll be like an overall rating of like A through, F, because sometimes these niggas be making some trash ass music, but so that is pretty much my thought process. All right, getting into my brain, like I said, but I just want to give that transparency. So yeah, I'm gonna get into 2 album reviews. We did have a lot of music drop. All right, we had West Side Gun drop. We had, like I said, 2 Chainz and Drake drop in. Damn. Shit, I'm looking at my phone right now. I got ASAP 12E, Young Blue, Schoolboy Q, um, you know, freaking The Weeknd dropped this month. Like, did a review there too. If you want to check that out, there is a recap and a review of The Weeknd's album. So go see that. And yeah, but for this episode specifically, I'll be talking about Larry June, 2 Chainz, and the Alchemist album Life is Beautiful first. And then I'll get into Drake and Party Next Door's Some Sexy Song for You. All right, so before I get into those album reviews, make sure you follow the Culture Decides on Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter, and download this episode, like and subscribe on YouTube. Thank you. All right, so Larry June, 2 Chainz, and The Alchemist, an amazing producer, drop Life is Beautiful. And, this was a great listen. 11 songs, 37 minutes. It's a very, like, poetic type, jazzy, funky rap album. A lot of spoken word samples were used. It's that slow and smooth hip hop, that classic vibe. None of that like super fast up tempo drill shit. It's very much like it feels like sophisticated rap. This is like you throwing your foot up on the counter, you or the table, whatever the fuck, and you probably got a cigar with you, or a nicely rolled spliff, like just chilling, and you just want a nice vibe. You know what I'm saying? You want good energy speaking to you. You know what I'm saying? You want some motivation music. This is what that album is. Alchemist, like I said, he's a very talented producer. He's worked with everyone from Kendrick. He actually worked with Kendrick on Meet the Grams. He actually worked with Drake the year before on For All Dogs with Wickman. He's worked with Tyler the Creator, Lil Wayne, Fab, Mac Miller, rest in peace. He's worked with a lot of people, and he is like a great producer. I'll say the least. So yeah, as far as like where Larry June and 2 Chainz have been. I mean, Larry has been consistently dropping over the last few years. Last year, he dropped Doing It For Me in August, and 2 Chainz, he actually dropped back in 2023 a collab album with Lil Wayne called Welcome to Cold Grove. So, they've been out here, but this was a great album to show 2 Chainz' strength as like more of I feel like in the beginning when he came out, he had like those hype, twerk type songs type shit, but this dude is actually very talented and super smart. Like, I'm talking like went through college all type shit, and like he can really give like that sophisticated rap was with like great use of words and things of that nature. Like, his vocabulary is great is what I'm trying to say. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he knows how to do a lot of wordplay, and I don't know, I feel like this album, I do hope people appreciate it. I definitely did. I think I see myself going back and listen to a few of them. Like I said, I like to sit down, take my notes, and I actually had listened to it again right before I went to get some groceries. It was like a freaking Saturday. I'm like, I bet gotta go grocery shopping. Saturday's probably the worst day to go, but I need some water, y'all. I need some water. I need some groceries. And unfortunately, I had to go midday. I ain't get up like the old people do and get up and go in the morning. I usually like to, but fucking I had to go in the middle of the day. So I put on the album. I'm like, all right, let me listen to it again since I'm driving. And I'm like, all right, you know what? There's traffic. Nothing's gonna bother me. As I'm listening to the album, I'm like, honestly, it helped me stay calm through my commute, driving through the traffic and everything, trying to find parking. Like, there was a line to find parking, and I found parking right away. I was just like, no, we good. We cruising. We chilling, man. We chilling. We good. Like, nothing's gonna bother me. And I had a very smooth journey shopping at 2 different grocery stores with, like, it was jam packing that bitch, like, and I feel like I said, they set the vibe. It wasn't negative energy coming through the sound wave. It was positive. So I feel like the name speaks for itself. Life is beautiful. Like I said, this is that poetic type, jazzy flow, like jazzy type beats, funky type beats, like classical type of hip hop. And to just walk y'all through the songs, they start off with Munyon Canyon. And Munyon is like their wordplay for like money in it. Pretty much they set the vibe strong with this. This is one of my favorite songs on the album. They're pretty much like talking their shit on a jazzy type beat. It sounds like, you know, like a song that you would be like cruising inside of a cruiser. And on the song, like the chorus, they're like, get the paper, get some Munyon. Uh, and then like how they talk, they also talking about how they done seen baggage claim in several different seas. I'm like, okay, Conflex, I see you out there traveling. So, you know, I'm getting my money on and I'm traveling and I'm doing my shit. That's pretty much the vibes on that song. I really did like that. That's one of my favorite on there. And then they get into Colossal, which is song 2 on there. The name speaks for itself. I feel like, first of all, like, one thing I love about certain producers is that they know how to create a vibe with the beat that matches the theme of the song. Now the song's called Colossal, and I feel like that's what the beat gave. It was like a hard hitting, like boom bap type of beat, like very much like punching the speakers on your in your car. You know what I'm saying? Like the bass is jumping. Like I really did like how the beat fit the name of the song, Colossal, and pretty much they like everything he doing in life is colossal. And yeah, like I said, that was a solid song. With this, I gave it like 1 fire sign. I feel like I'm leaning into 2, as in I might come back and listen to it, and I feel like it could be worth like adding to the playlist for sure. And then to get into song number 3, it's called I Been. Now this song, another top song for me, with 2 Chainz and Larry June. I mean, 2 Chainz is like, you know, talking his shit. Both of them, they're like how, you know, he's been minding his business, drinking his water, getting paid for discussions with the alchemist. I'm like, okay. And on it too, he's like, you know, watch what you do. They got deadbeat moms now, like shit unheard of. Like they're just leaving the babies at home and popping out. Like, damn, you better go take care of that kid. But whatever, you know, on this song too, at the end of I Been, he samples Bob Costa interviewing BB King. And BB King is like, you know, a legendary artist. And on that specific interview, BB King is like, how much life experience, real pain and heartache is it necessary to be a genuine blues man? Because, you know, he like king of blues essentially. Or can you be a happy person and still call upon something that's delivered the goods in blues? You know, can you still be happy if something's delivered within, you know, sadness? So I'm like, okay, spirit speaking, you know, poetic vibes for sure. So yeah, I Been was a really good song there. And then the next track is called LLC. And on this, they're pretty much like, you know, I got so much business going on. Like, He's like, I got more blues than BB King. I told you, my son, you gonna be a king. Put your mind to it. You could do anything. It's like a motivation jam. If they talking business, he's 2 Chainz is even like he got his pistol in his wifey name. He got this business there. They got this property. They got LLCs up the wazoo. You know what I'm saying? They making that bread. This song was pretty good. It was a solid song here. At this point, I'm around midway, about to be midway through the album. So I'm like, so far, it's fitting the theme of life is beautiful. I mean, I'm liking what I'm hearing. Um, and then the next song on here is called Bad Choices. It's like a up funk beat vibe. At least the beat was sampled. It's giving like that up funk. It's like a up funk beat vibe. And in this song, he's like, all the good girls make bad choices. This song was pretty good. I do feel as though with the chorus, I felt like it was a lot of words to fit the beat, but 2 Chainz like made it work. It might be one of those songs that grow on me. I gave this like 2 fire signs. But like I said, I think it'll grow on me. I'll think. And then the next song is just like the title, "Life Is Beautiful." This was another favorite of mine. Three money sign, 3 fire emojis there, and this is like I would say like the beat is like a flute type beat. Think of like, I don't know, birds flying in the wind. That's the vibes I got. Like that's the notes that I wrote down about it. It's like a fairy like kind of fluty type beat, and I feel like the beat gave, like I said, it gave the name more oomph to it. Like the beat fit the name. Life is beautiful. On this, 2 Chainz is bragging about being on a winning streak, and doing, just living life. Life has been beautiful. Like he ain't stressed. So I'm like, all right, OG, really living that life. You talking that shit? Got it. That's the continuing theme of the album. And then the next song is called Generation. This song is pretty good in my opinion. 2 fire emojis on there. 2 Chainz, he's pretty much like reflecting on the downsides of the rap game and how pretty much like they the niggas, like his generation, they the niggas that fucked up the generation below. They the niggas that got these younger kids on like drugs and Percocets and like things like that. He pretty much in the song, he's like, rap is his therapy, and he acknowledges his responsibility for how kids look up to their elders and get involved in drugs and violence because of some of their favorite rappers. So, I feel like at a certain age, certain rappers, not certain rappers, but like just like at a certain age, rappers do gotta start talking about some other shit. Like whenever I think about this, I always laugh about like Jim Jones, and people be calling him out like, bro, you like pushing 50, dude, and you talk about all this hot shit. Like you better write some like conscious shit and slow the fuck down. But yeah, that's pretty much the vibe of that song. Just like taking accountability for like this fucked up generation, and I thought it was a pretty good song on there. And then number 8 is called Any Day. 3 fire emojis. This was fire. He pretty much gonna do whatever the fuck he want on any day. The song say the name of the song is exactly what the nigga gonna do. Any day he gonna get to it, he gonna do whatever he want to. And I do feel like throughout the album so far, I was hearing like a fair mixture of like Larry June and 2 Chainz vibe on it. I feel like they're very much were like are like I feel like they pretty much were both given that vibe of like, listen, you can hear every word that I'm saying. I'm not rushing. Like this is just, like I said, slow and smooth hip hop. Like I'm enunciating every word. You gonna hear what the fuck I gotta say. I'm wordplay here and there. Like very much solid through and through. And then on, from Any Day, we go into track 9. It's called Epiphany. And he was talking this shit on this. He's like, yo, the cologne you got on from CVS. I'm like, damn, can't get caught lacking buying your cologne in CVS. So I'm like, he letting us know he ain't buying it from there. He buying it from I guess Saks and North. I don't know. I don't even know where they get the shit from. Maybe he going straight to the Gucci store. I don't know if he wearing that, but OG was talking his shit. He was talking like y'all little niggas, y'all not like us. Y'all buy y'all shit in the discount store. I'm like, all right, made them way to make me feel poor. But then we go into True Organics. That song, Two Fire Signs there. I feel like it was a solid song compared to the rest of the album. Not like a top for me, but one that I may replay and it could grow on me for sure. And then at the end, we finish off. And then at the end, we finish off with with Jean Prave. And on Jean Prave, I feel like it was giving like a sing rap type vibes from both Larry June and Two Chains. Pretty much they're like trying to shake the limelight in the song, trying to just, vibe out and chill. And that was pretty much the conclusion of the album. I do feel like it's a solid listen. It's 37 minutes, 11 songs on there. My top song on there was Manyan Cannon, I've Been, Life is Beautiful, Any Day, and Epiphany. All solid songs to start with to get the vibe of the album. And like I said, this is just when you want to slow down, and still hear some rap. Not gonna be the drill. Not really shaking your ass to it if y'all want to go shake your ass, but just a chill, calm vibe, motivation type album. Okay, so sometimes you gotta appreciate that type of work. Like I said, I listened to it, I respected it, and I went and had a decent shopping experience. You know what I'm saying? I ain't deal with no drama, even though the shit was jam packed. Everything went smooth. Out parking smooth, got out smooth. Like that's what this vibe is giving, a smooth vibe. So when you want that, check out that Life is Beautiful. All right, so now the moment we've all been waiting for. Some sexy songs for you. Review Party Next Door and Drake, drop a collab with 21 songs. It's an hour and 15 minutes, 14 minutes, whatever. A little over an hour vibes with songs that are supposed to be like love songs. They dropped this on Valentine's weekend, exactly on Valentine's Day, actually. And it has been highly anticipated for Drake fans. And people are looking forward to see what Drake and Party Next Door finally do together. I mean, they've had a lot of great hits together in the past, and it has been a top request to have them do an album together. Now, I will put a disclaimer at the top before I get into it. I've been very vocal about how I feel about Drake. I feel as though the quality of his work has diminished. And honestly, like my last favorite album from him, I would say his collab album with 21 Savage, Her Loss, was really good. But after he dropped For All Dogs, and I feel like it was like, all right, bro, you could have kept this. Like, you are dropping back to back, and sometimes I feel like when artists do that, you oversaturating. Like, just chill out, just make people miss you a little bit. So I also feel like he's been taking a lot of weird jabs at people, and then he throws his hands up like, "What did I do? Like, what me?" Like, I don't like how he plays that. I don't like that he's trying to sue over the rap beef that he literally asked for. Like, he was literally in the beginning like, drop it, give me 50. Like, come on, dude, drop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Had mad people gassing it up. And when he was winning the beef against Meek Mill, that nigga was performing on stage with a whole freaking PowerPoint presentation behind him, rubbing back to back in his face. So like, charged up all of that. So I feel like, why you mad? You on the other end of the of the battle. So, personally, like, one of my favorite albums from him is More Life. I feel like through and through, like top to bottom, like I really fuck with that album. Scorpion was good. I Dark Lane was had some hits on there, but I feel like that's when it started to get like, okay, is it a matter of you doing too much? And then we had Certified Lover Boy, which was good, but I feel like a lot of people that were like strong, like Take Care Drake type fans were like, what the fuck is this? Like, but after that, I feel like Her Loss Yeah, so if I had to say, if I'm looking at his recent projects, Her Loss was really good, More Life, Scorpion, and everything in between that were kind of like, maybe you could have kept these. Maybe these could have been like delivered later on and in a shorter combo album type shit. But you know, people were, like I said, highly anticipating this collab between him and Party Next Door. Me personally, I love Party Next Door. He had dropped Party Next Door 4/P4 last year, and that was just in April, and that show was so good. I had to go see him live. I literally went to the concert to see him in Miami for my birthday. So I was definitely gonna tune into this, regardless about how I feel about Drake. Like I said, diminishing the quality of his work. He been doing corny shit. He be trying to show he be trying to throw shade at Rihanna, and I love Rihanna. I said that earlier. He always picking a battle with women, but that's why I ain't tune in right away. I was like, I see all the noise. I'm gonna wait. You gonna suffer your first day sales, first day listens. It ain't coming for me. You on timeout. But anyway, so this album, a couple of things I'll talk about going into it. Just like there was a little like some spiciness, some drama, some shit talking going on up to down to when it dropped. Okay, so you know, of course, we got the Drake stands that's like, y'all better stay over there. Don't come listening to it now. And it's like, there's the people that appreciate both artists, Kendrick and Drake, and feel like I'm gonna listen to him regardless of what y'all think. Like, I don't care. Like, I want to see if he's gonna get better. And he took Kendrick's advice and went back to his singing vibes, which a lot of us love. So I feel as though we got a right to critique the man. Anyways, one thing that happened, a couple things I'll talk to y'all about that happened before the album drop, or like that came out when the album dropped. So they actually changed the Apple description. The Apple description previously was pretty much like giving like, oh, is this Drake's comeback album? Can he revive himself post beef? Like it was very much centered around that and giving like, can he rise to the occasion, right? So I guess they ain't like that. So they actually, when I say they, him and Party Next Door switched it, and the freaking description now is like pretty much like a note from the artist. It's pretty much 74 minutes of Drake and Party Next Door giving pure Canadian Toronto vibes. And at the end of that description, there's a little note. It's like, maybe it was karma that caused a reversal in my luck and family fortunes. I'm like, oh, and then it says signed like you most likely in the near future. And I'm like, what you mean you most likely in the future? It pretty much was given like, listen, um, you know, maybe it is karma that's biting me in my ass, but you are also gonna experience the same shit later on when people turn their backs on you. I'm like, nigga, don't call that shit on me. That's on you. Like as I'm reading it, I'm like, no, nigga, that's on you. I didn't put that on us. You fucked up. You was throwing the stones and hiding your hands. I ain't put your hands up, nigga. Fight back, fight. But whatever. Another thing that I wanted to talk to y'all about prior to getting to the album review is that I don't know if you know, but apparently there's this artist called John River out of Canada that is currently going viral and everything, that said that Drake and Party Next Door stole from him. Down to the album art, down to some of the inspo of the album. I'm like, oh, apparently John River is actually from the same city. Party Next Door is from Mississauga, and they had approached him to talk about his creative process behind his song called Hope City at. And in that song, he actually like did a music video with the Marilyn Monroe Towers behind him, which is a famous tower in Mississauga. But he apparently, John had met with OVO members, Drake and Party Next Door, and they were like asking him about his creative process, asking him about the video. and he apparently declined writing for them, which led to them becoming upset. And apparently, Party Next Door threatened him and was like, "You better pay homage to me, or else you'll get blackballed." But I don't know if it's true or not. He did post screenshots of certain things and said that, ultimately they ended up using the same cover photo as him in front of the towers, which everyone, Drake stands at least, and fans that, think that he could do no wrong, and people that are also unbiased are like, well, he just used like a famous tower to like make that his cover photo. Anybody could do that. But it's the fact that they spoke to him, asked him about his process, asked him to write, that's making a lot of people suspicious. All right. So outside of them also potentially stealing from John River, they stole the like money sign naming thing that they did with like some sexy songs for you has a money sign replacing the S of each word. um and apparently Freddie Gibbs did this back in 2022. He actually did name one of his albums Soul Sold separately, and each S has a money sign instead. And the album has bunnies on it, which is the like alt cover for Some Sexy Songs for You. It has like bunnies on it and like the money signs. So Freddie Gibbs, it was kind of hard to read if he was being like sarcastic or not. He's like, "Wow, I feel flattered at this point." And then he was like, "Go listen to my song, go listen to my shit." So I'm like, all right, this little dude from the same city Party from saying they stole from him, and then we got Freddie Gibbs saying y'all stole from him. Or I mean, it does look like you took some of his likeliness, but regardless, the song and the album hit number one. Uh, it actually gave Party Next Door his first number one album, which as a Party Next Door fan, I'm like, shit, I feel like he could have hit number one with last year's album. It was really great to me, but I do feel as though Party Next Door does have a niche audience. Like, I do debate that he maybe could have been a bigger household name if he wasn't under OVO. Like, look at The Weeknd. The Weeknd chose not to go that route, and look where he is now. He's definitely a household name. He's an big time artist. Like, what if Party Next Door did not sign with OVO? Where do y'all think he would be? Do you think he would be further in his career, or do you feel as though nobody would know about him? I feel as though he has written some of Drake's biggest hits. Like, what if he had decided to sing Work with Rihanna instead of Drake? Like, he would have definitely been a household name with that song. Like, everybody love Rihanna. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people love Rihanna. So I strongly believe, like, maybe there's an alt universe where he is more of a household known R&B name. Like, he doesn't get brought up in a conversation a lot unless it's like people that like really are specifically Party Next Door fans from like way back. So that's a question I had going into it, and going into listening to it, I was wondering, like, how is the balance going to be between them? Of course there was a lot of noise on socials talking about it, but I was like, okay, noted, but let me see how I feel about it going into it. And you know I do feel like overall some of the tuning and mixing of the voices sounded like it benefited Drake more. And I love Party Next Door, but I feel like he's slightly held back. But what I'll do is I'll get into those songs, each song, and talk y'all through it. And for those of y'all that do care about the numbers, I'll say it here. So like I said, Drake helped Party Next Door earned his first number one album with this collab, and their first week sales were a quarter of a million, 250K, compared to Kendrick's GNX album that had no promotion, they been promoting this since October, whereas Kendrick did not promote GNX at all. He did have the beef, of course, but they didn't necessarily specifically say I'm dropping an album. And he did 319K his first week. A lot of Drake fans, when the stats came out for GNX, were like really fucking ripping Kendrick a new one, or at least trying to, and like saying, oh, like those numbers are weak. Drake would do way more than that, and just trying to diminish the value of GNX. And I'm like, all right, y'all consider 319 a low number. If Drake got 250 even with a collab, you gonna say that's low too? You gotta be honest. And what is actually interesting is that Kendrick actually sold 200K within the same week of Some Sexy Songs for You. So he was on a high from Grammys, Super Bowl, and he damn near sold the same amount within the same week. So I feel as though he made a right decision to perform GNX at the Super Bowl, despite people being unfamiliar with it. It did help create the buzz. And I feel as though if Drake fans gonna be honest, they gotta say, hey, this is a weaker first week sales number if we're comparing Drake to himself. All right. If y'all was setting the bar high saying 319 is low, then 250 is fucking low for Drake. All right. But enough of the little tea. I'll get into my honest review and tell y'all, like, walk out through some of the songs that I thought were fire. He kicks it off with CN Tower. I did see this as a song that a lot of people were fucking with. Me personally, I gave it two fire songs. I mean, two fire emojis hopping into it. I mean, it was a great intro song, but I feel like I was like, okay, where we going? We starting it off recapping, and then the next song we have Mothballs, and in it he's like, I need securities because niggas is hoes. When I say he, I'm talking about Drake. I'm like, nigga, you the hoe, but whatever. And I'm like, okay, this one I gave one fire song. I'm like, I feel like they're building the they're building it up. They're building up the plot for the album. And then number three, Something About You. This is my first favorite song on the album. Like the first song that once I heard that, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking with this. This is y'all picking up the pace. This is where OG Drake comes through. I feel like he's giving like that Take Care vibe. The tempo picks up here, and pretty much we got Party Next Door on there singing like Some Sexy Songs for You. And he's like, every time I write a love song, all of these songs are for you. Like really like, okay, yeah, I see the vision. I see this is for the ladies. Remember a lot of people were critiquing and debating, is it really going to be some sexy song for the ladies, or is it going to be Drake rapping and trying to, get his peace of mind off? But this was giving. I definitely gave that 3 fire emojis. Now, the next song we go into is Crying in Chanel. Now, this one is back to like that slow tempo. And then we get into Drake's famous beat switches. He loves to rap on the beat switches, and I love to hear it too. I feel like it was that classic vibe. This song, I gave it 2 fire emojis. I feel like it is gonna potentially has the potential. I feel like it does have the potential to grow on me. But out of all the songs, it wasn't like my favorite one. I did see a lot of people fucking with it though, and it is charting. Now, number 5, we have Spider-Man, Superman. I feel like you could guess the theme of the song. This is pretty much like hoes thinking that he could save them. He's like, girl took me for Spider-Man, Superman. And he actually sampled himself. He sampled the real her from Take Care. And a lot of people was like, damn, he reheating the fuck out of them Take Care nachos. Like, he really bringing the vibes. He did the same classic photo of him at the table, now with the money signs on the jacket instead, promoting this album. So yeah, he came back to that OG Drake. He cut the hair off and everything. So I feel like he definitely was trying to reinvent that vibe here. And then getting into my favorite fucking song of the album. This absolutely my favorite. There are songs that Party Next Door is on by himself, which actually this is the only one that Party Next Door has by himself, while Drake has a few solo songs, which I feel like for a collab album, I was expecting a little more like evenness to it, a little more of a better mixture, but I'll recap my overall summary. And on this song, Deeper, it's number 6. This one, shit, they broke the fucking three fire emoji rule with this one. I gave it 4. Party Next Door is finally singing here. This is where I finally feel like I'm hearing him on the album. 6 songs in, I'm like, okay, you're here. This is you finally singing. He wasn't holding back. I feel like he was doing a lot more rap singing leading up to this song, and this song showed like, okay, this is your strength as a singer. This is how you fucking sing. This is how you're showing up on Party Next Door 4. Show up like this the entire album. Like, don't be afraid because you singing next to the boy. Like, he gonna have to either sing better or rap. Like, I feel like he kind of like dialed himself back a little bit, but this song showed his strengths as an artist. And I feel like for someone that's like maybe discovering Party Next Door for the first time by listening to this collab album, they would be able to get a sense of like, okay, this is the type of vibe that he gives. Now, the next song is called Small Town Fame, number 7. This is all Drake here. This one was really fire. It was classic Drake vibes. One of the lines that I found funny on there, he was like, "Your new man pretending to be a man, he a stud." I thought that was funny. I feel like they always got like they little like little queer bars, like, damn, save him for us, save him for the community, damn. But I thought it was pretty funny. And then on the song, he's like, I'm hating way too hard. Like he admits, like, I'm hating way too hard. And then this is actually the song that is blowing up because of the lyrics. He's like, putting Charlie up her nose, X on her tongue. She been geeking hard. She had a brat summer. People's fucking with that. Like, oh shit, he like did a little bit of wordplay with Charlie X, and the brat summer theme. So, and then pretty much at the end of the song, he's pretty much like, he lost his bitch to small town fame. He's stressed right now. Like he needs something, like, what I'm saying, he need to recover from this. So then we go into Pimmy's Dilemma, number 8, and this is pretty much, I don't know if y'all remember Yeba's Heartbreak. It's pretty much giving that vibe. It's kind of like an interlude type vibe with Pimmy just solo singing by herself pretty much. And this song actually helped her blow up. She was like pretty much like an underground independent artist, and this song helped her surpass a million monthly listeners, like blew her shit up for real. And people are actually debating if this song is better or Yeba's Heartbreak. I don't know. What do y'all think? I feel like they both pretty good. This one, I feel like she really floats over the beat. Like, she's on the song pretty much like please don't go out with your friends. They never keep you in check. You won't act out and pretty much blame it on the alcohol, and like getting into that, like this is like pretty much a start of a short story. As we get to the next couple of songs, you kind of hear Drake like, yeah, I'm gonna go out with the boys, but I miss you, babe. I gotta go out even though you bad as shit. Like, that's pretty much the vibe that was happening over the next few songs. But this was a really great, I feel like it's an interlude type of vibe, you know what I'm saying? It's like a minute and a few seconds. And then now we go into Brian Steele. This is all Drake again. Even though it was all Drake on this, I really did like this. It's like a story building up from Pimmy's Dilemma. He's like, fuck it, I gotta go out, do my thing. He can't put a beef aside because he's heating up. And he's like, yo, you gotta chill. Like even though he gotta chill, he's like, don't get into no beef. And he's like, nah. Like, nah, I don't want to chill. Fuck what my niggas is telling me. I'm gonna get into it. And this is it. This is a song where he's like, girl, you so sexy. Nothing I want to keep on the side. Like, I ain't gonna have no side bitch because you that fine. And then he's like, he's like, pussy so good I should be inside, but I gotta go outside. I'm like, damn, bro, you really fiending to be outside. Like, It's okay. Like, shorty telling you to stay in the crib, just stay. It's some sexy songs for you. Like, stay with her. But whatever. So then he goes into Give Me a Hug. And this is actually another song that's going super viral. And honestly is one of the top songs for me as well. I gave this 3 fire songs along with Brian Steele, if I didn't mention. Now, I got a couple notes on this song. So, on Twitter a few months ago during the rap beef, people were calling out how Drake often tends to rhyme words that end in shun. So, people did like a list of words that he tends to use, and then people were joking like, "Yo, bro, here's a new list of words." And on this song, he ends up like using shun again to rhyme, and right off the back in the beginning he's like Drake elimination, fake intimidation, and we're like, ah, here this nigga go again. And pretty much in the song though, he's like, it sounds like in the beginning, he's like pretty much speaking to himself, like boosting himself up, like things that people have, praises that people have said about him. And he in the beginning has like a choir like singing in the back on the beat, and he's like saying all these things about himself. And then he's pretty much like, if I die, these niggas become the sole beneficiary. Like, without me, that's the only way y'all niggas get to eat. So he's talking his shit, and this is when he gets into like the beat switches bag. He got like 4 motherfucking beat switches on it. And I feel like a lot of people that are really like OG Drake fans versus like the new age, they really fuck with how he's able to like switch up the vibe in the song and give you like multiple songs in one, it feels like. But he gets into it and he's like, yo, 21 is the only one checking up on me. And then he went from like, oh, I can't chill out with the beef to nah, fuck the rap beef, I'm trying to keep the party lit, and then he's like, towards the end of the song, like as the song progressing, I should say, he's like, I walk into the party, hoes, and niggas is like, give me a hug. And then he's like, yo, I miss you, hoes, I need the love right now. And he also throws shade like girls at 29 is not gonna twerk to a dictionary, which, bruh, stop. He also shouted out Melissa Ford, that's one of the hosts on Joe Budden's podcast. It was like, yo, you cool, but I hate to see you around a dick sucker now. I'm like, damn, Joe. That's why Joe had to address him though. Like, leave me out of your shit. You always want to address the woman. Like, don't talk about me, nigga. But in this song, I feel like he sounded kind of hurt. Like, he really needed that hug. Like, give that nigga a fucking hug. That nigga went through a tough year. He felt like people turning their backs on him. I feel like he's in a state of like denial. Like, he going through what do they call it, the 7 stages of grief. Like, he can't believe that people actually thought that he lost and that they turned his back. And then he's gonna have to accept it. Then he's gonna be angry about it, and then at some point it just fizzles out. So give that man a hug, help him get through it. At the end, he's like, babe, I miss you. And this beat switch here, it turns into a sample of I Miss You by Aaron Hall. That's a song that came out in the 90s. And I'm like, okay, like this was a nice like way to like, conclude the song. And then they go into the song. The song now transitions into Raining in Houston, which is song number 11 on there. And I really love how Give Me a Hug transitions into here. And this song was given like the end of the short story. We have Pimmy like, don't go out, don't be misbehaved. He's like, nah, fuck it, I gotta go out. And when I go out in the club, I'm feeling this love, I'm getting the hug, I'm missing the hoes, blah, blah, blah. And now we got Raining in Houston. you know this is another solo song, so like I said, I feel like there could have been a little more blend of Party Next Door, especially in the parts that Drake decides to sing. I feel like he could have had Party sing those parts instead. But there are, like I said, don't get me wrong, I do like when Drake has some singing roles. I do feel like they could have had a better blend. But anyways, in this particular song, it was a top song for me as well. I gave it 3 fire emojis along with Give Me a Hug because of that transition and just like what it talks about. It's giving like storytelling for sure. And with this. We all know how he loves Houston. I feel like that's probably his favorite city in America. He loved the strippers over there, all his fave strippers over there. And on this song, he's like, yo, my girl done called me 5 times while I'm outside. Like, she really wildin'. And in the song, he's actually dissing American guys. He's like, these American guys don't know how to talk to the girls. Them, let me talk to you. I'm smoother. I'm gonna take care of you. And at the end of the song, he's like, the hate from this year is confusing my love. Why the fuck are you confused? You know what you've been doing. You know the fucking jabs you've been throwing. Justin give me a hug right before this. You was throwing jabs. So, he needs a hug. He's confused, like I said, in denial, 7 stages of grief, whatever the case is. So his raining in Houston. Houston, we got a fucking problem. And it's Drake because he's in his bag. Now, after that, we go into lasers. The last songs that I just told you about, Raining in Houston, Give Me a Hug, Brian Steele, and Small Town Fame, that was all Drake. And then we had Pimmy's Dilemma in between it. That was really just her. We don't hear Party Next Door on the album until track 12 again on Lasers. And, on this song, he's pretty much like, I'm getting older, the pressure's getting heavy, like, I gotta put a rock on that finger. I gave this 2 fire emojis. I feel like, Party Next Door was doing his thing, but like, if you listen to P4 and know how I feel about P4, I feel like it was like not his best singing. So, like I said, I still gave it 2 fire emojis because I feel like I'm gonna come back to it and see if it grows on me, and I'll let y'all know. I'll let y'all know what I'm listening to down the line. So then, Drake has to give his Spanish Caribbean vibe. He has track 13, Meet Your Padre, Party Next Door is on there, Drake is on there, and Chino Pacas, and it's like, it's giving like Spanish Drake. For those who have an acquired taste, Spanish and reggae vibes. I say reggae specifically because on the song he's like, make them gals step left, so he's using that, that Jamaican accent that he loves to put on every now and then with a Spanish twist. So not really reggaeton, but more like, I'm trying to use my Jamaican accent on a Spanish vibe. And Toronto, Canada itself is very heavily influenced by like Caribbean culture, specifically Jamaican culture, because a lot of people migrated over there. So every now and then Drake has to show, this is where I'm from, the Toronto vibe. And I feel like it was one of his like funny type songs. He's like, I want to meet your madre, pay respects to your padre, por favor. On this song, I didn't really like Party Next Door's part. I feel like it was okay. Like, this song, it was just one of those like, just like toss in fun type of vibe. But Drake has done like cross genre songs, and they've been better than this. So it was okay. Now, after this, we got the bop Nokia. Everybody going fucking crazy over Nokia, okay? Nokia is definitely a club bop. I see this being like a summer song for sure. In this song, he actually samples the Nokia tune, and he's like, who's calling my phone? Is it Keisha? Is it Stacy? Where the function at? Is Party calling me? We about to pull up in the club. Like, this is definitely giving that vibe. And there is a beat switch throughout this song as well, and it's like a slightly slowed down vibe there. And he's like, yo, shake your ass in the club with your bestie. Drake always give the girls the shake their ass song. So this was that. This was definitely that. It's a great song. I definitely see it being replayed, played outside, myself, and in the spots. Okay, that was definitely 3 fire signs. And then we getting into Die Trying with Party Next Door, Drake and Yebba. This is track 15. Now this has 21 songs, and this is when I'm starting to feel like, okay, are you gonna keep it consistent? We just had a bop with Nokia, and then this is where I feel like it starts to slow down a little bit. It's like a pop country rap vibes. They have like the acoustic guitar in the back. I feel like they could have kept this song, honestly. I wasn't crazy over it. So after Die Trying, I was like, that was okay. Like, I don't even like that song. I didn't give it any fire emojis, honestly. So Party Next Door comes in on Somebody Loves Me. That's track number 16. Next, after Die Trying, which I felt like Die Trying was a throwaway song. And he's like, I know there's somebody who loves me. You know, he's actually belting out the lyrics. This song I thought was okay. And towards the end of the song, they have a clip with a woman talking like, "Oh, niggas think 1 week means they celibate, and then they transition into the song Celibacy, number 17 on there. This is more of like a slower vibe. To me, this song didn't really stand out too much. Like I said, with Die Trying, I was starting to feel like, is this where the songs start to like slow down in quality? You know, now we're in 15. I feel like you had 21 songs. Maybe it could have just been 15. Maybe, you know, Die Trying, we could have removed. Celibacy fits the theme of the album, but I didn't think it really stood out enough to be placed on there. And then after Celibacy, we get into On My Way. And in this song, Drake sounds like the stronger singer than Party Next Door. And then we know Party Next Door could sing. At least Party Next Door fans know that. So I was like, damn, PND, like, what's going on? Like, what the fuck? You got this nigga sounding like a stronger singer. But overall, it was still a solid song. I'm debating if I'll come back to it. I gave this 2 fire signs. And then after this, we get into Glorious, which is like that drill type. I'm just like, okay, you know, you are some UK sauce within this. So Drake is rapping on here. This is actually the song that people were coming at him for, because one of the bars he said is like, you said your mama kicked you out the crib, so where the fuck you gonna go? And they're like, bro, what girl you talking to that's, you know, close to your age, you're pushing 40, that's getting kicked out of their mom dude's crib? Like, no, is it true what Kendrick say? I don't know, but yeah, that was giving type of size. But the song I gave 2 fire signs. I did think that was like, yeah, who you talking to that's getting kicked out? Like, they not a grown woman? What? So then next we get into When He's Gone. This song picking back up. This is song 20. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you gotta end it good. I mean, you know, we got 21 songs at least. Pick it back up after Nokia. Like, I feel like it was Nokia was like good, and then it was like kind of like starting to get a little snoozy, you know. But When He's Gone, Party Next Door kicks it off again really strong, and I felt like this song, I really fuck with it because it showed his strengths, and I felt like, yo, this is what I wanted from you consistently throughout the album. Like, just sing, nigga. Make sure when they mix your shit, you sound good. You don't sound like you sacrificing your sound to make Drake sound good. But I feel like, you know, he could have overall, as I'm like coming to the end of the album, showed up a lot more in other places. Maybe just have a couple more, maybe him and Drake singing back to back. Like, you take this line, I take this one. Like, I don't know. Now this song, When He's Gone, they pretty much like, let me know when he's gone. Let me know when you over that nigga. And Drake again throwing shade at Americans. He did it in Raining in Houston. Now he's doing it again. He's like, why are you acting thirsty over anyone that's American? Like, I'm like, yo, what's good with this shade? Like, you got mad shade to throw on us, but you love to be over here. You love covenant culture, as Kendrick would say. So what's good? So then we ended off with Greedy. This song was like 6 minutes long. It was definitely like an outro song. And on it, he's like, you know, greedy for your love. And I feel like it got back to the theme of the album, Some Sexy Songs for You, and just like getting back to that lover type vibe. This song, I gave it like 2 fire signs. And I guess with that being said, you know, that's my conclusion of like how I felt about the songs. You know, my ended thoughts is that this was better than For All Dogs for Drake, but not better than Party Next Door 4 for Party Next Door. Yes, he did get his first #1 album with this collab, but I feel like it was expected that Drake would go #1 regardless, because he is a great artist. Nonetheless, people are gonna be stans regardless and fuck with him. And there's people that remained pretty neutral throughout the rap battle. I do feel as though, if we being fair, back to the numbers, people that care about the numbers, y'all was calling out Kendrick's numbers for being low. And if that's the case, then this is low for a Drake album. 250K. Drake does half a million practically with albums. So, and we got Party Next Door on there too. In my opinion, I feel like their first week sales could have been higher. Um, I do feel as though Party Next Door could have had more singing roles, and like he didn't show up as much as I wanted him to. He got overshadowed by Drake, and not that Drake like didn't sing well. I just feel as though Party Next Door is there for a reason. Why not use him for that reason? But you know, to recap, my favorite songs on there. Deeper, like I said, this is where Party Next Door really shows his strengths with how well he can sing. I feel like it reminded me of P4. And if you really want to like hear how well he can sing, listen to that. Listen to his older shit and go listen to this. Tell me what y'all think, honestly. Um, Give Me a Hug. I feel like that was my second favorite song. This, as far as like solo song for Party Next Door, Deeper was the only one, but it was my favorite one. And then Drake had a few solo songs on there. Give Me the Hug. Give Me a Hug was my favorite one for him. I feel like he floated on that. I feel like he was a little vulnerable. He really needed that hug. He was reflective and in the beginning, and I feel like it very much like spoke to the theme as well. It was a part of that little short story segment of the album with Pimmy's dilemma leading down to Raiding in Houston. So I felt like that was like really a nice way of showing his strengths as well. Now, as far as like a perfect collab between the two, my third favorite song in there is Something About You. I feel like it really blended both of their strengths well. Party singing, Drake singing, rapping. I feel like it really showed, hey, this is how y'all should be collabing throughout the album. And then my next favorite songs in there, they are, like I said, I feel like Drake overshadowed Party on this, so they are solo songs with Drake on it. Small Town Theme, Brian Steele, Raining in Houston. I thought those were really good. And then Nokia as well. The party dance vibe, that was good. That was good. And then my last two, I would say When He's Gone was another great blend of both of them. So Something About You and When He's Gone, those are my two favorite collab song that shows their strengths together. And then last but not least, shout out to Pimmy. Pimmy's Dilemma is really good. I feel like she really like floated on that beat. Like the fact that people are even comparing it to Yebba's Heartbreak, I feel like is just amazing, especially her as being like a newer artist. So it's great to see her get her credit there. Um, Even with this going number one, I still am wondering, like I said earlier, where would Party be if he decided to take the route that the Weeknd do and not sign with OVO? Would he have been further in his career? Would he have not even been known? I do feel as though he already was writing great songs and could have been working with other people himself with those songs. Overall, you know, just based off of the fact that it was a collab album and I didn't really hear a lot of him, and I feel like they could have blended well, I would rate this album a B plus. And I think there are a lot of songs I will go back to listen to, but overall I feel like there was 9 really great songs out of 21, and they could have shortened this up a bit just to have a little more consistency. Towards like 15 down, it got a little snoozy. Still like good songs, but like maybe these songs could have been kept for another thing, or not just this, not maybe don't drop them. But um Drake did own a lot of singing parts that I feel like Party could have sound better if he did them instead. And yes, he sings good too, but the balance could have been overall just better in my opinion. Um I am you know, definitely going to see how my opinion develops over the next few weeks. Is this replayed in my playlist a lot? I definitely see me going deeper for sure. Give Me a Hug. Um Something About You. Those are songs that definitely my top 3. I'll will be going back to listen to those. Deeper solo vibes with Party, Give Me a Hug, solo vibes Drake, and then that collab, Something About You with both of them. That was fair. But On top of that, Drake is teasing that he's actually going to drop a solo album. And he tends to do this where he'll drop a collab album and then later in the year he'll drop a solo. He did that with Her Loss, and then later he dropped For All Dogs, which I felt like was kind of a mistake to drop For All Dogs. But we gonna see. He feels like he has a lot more to get off his chest. And I guess he feels like he has to redeem himself. At first I felt like he needed to take a break. Now, I don't know what the fuck he need to do, but he got to figure it out. But yeah, that's my opinion about some sexy songs for you. And Life is Beautiful. February was a great month in entertainment, but we got a lot of work to do. I am looking forward to see how music progresses over the year. Thank y'all for tuning in. I want to hear y'all opinions. Drop it when I drop the clips on social at the Culture Decides. Let me know what y'all think. Stay tuned with me there. Let me know what y'all think. Download this episode, like and subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. And thank you for tuning in. Have an amazing March. I will be catching up with y'all then.